Ladies and gentlemen, I am really delighted to see you all here at our press conference, which is dedicated to launching new educational programs in the Russian Federation with the assistance of the Association of Business Executives and Association of Business Practitioners. This English qualification was first introduced over 40 years ago. It is present in more than 80 countries of the world, and over 50,000 students each year graduate with these qualifications worldwide. Lyndon will tell you about ABE, ABP later in more details, but I would like to highlight the fact that this is a unique opportunity for the Russian Federation and for the Russian-speaking market, as such educational programs were not present here before. This is a new wave in the development of education which creates new prospects for students. Magna Carta College is an accredited business college based in Oxford. We also have an office at Canary Wharf in London, as well as numerous examination centres worldwide. The benefit of cooperation between Magna Carta College and ABE, ABP for students is in the fact that students won't have to leave their countries to acquire these qualifications and deal with the expenses usually encountered when moving to a new state. They will be able to sit all exams in their own country and obtain a recognised English professional diploma at the same level. This is a very important point. Magna Carta College was set up 12 years ago as an independent business school. We offer a wide variety of educational programs ranging from English language courses, foundation programs, to bachelor's and master's programs. We also take part in providing professional qualifications. The college is a member of a very reputable European organisation, EFMD, European Foundation for Management Development. This membership allows us to have access to modern methodology and useful techniques of effective management in business. I would also like to point out that all our students can be members of the Oxford Union. It is the world's most prestigious debating society with an unparalleled reputation for bringing international guests and speakers to Oxford. All students who study full-time, online, or take part in blended learning modules of study have access to this infrastructure. May I tell you more about the flexibility of studying, which wasn't available to citizens of the Russian Federation and other CIS countries before. Up to this day, in the majority of cases, a student who applied to study at a British educational establishment, even on blended learning mode, had to leave their country repeatedly for a certain period of time to sit exams. Even on blended learning mode, had to leave their country repeatedly for a certain period of time to sit exams. We signed a contract with the Chamber of Commerce in St. Petersburg on setting up the first ABE examination centre in the Russian Federation, where students will be able to take exams. Such centres will soon appear in every city with a population over 1 million people. There is one in Minsk already. By the end of this month, examination centres will appear in Tashkent, Baku and other cities of the former USSR. The people we are looking for are those who have already acquired an honours degree. They want to get a postgraduate education and obtain an MBA, for example. They will not have to quit their jobs and leave for the UK for a year. They will be able to study from here. This idea is implemented very easily. 90% of studies is carried out online and 10% on the basis of the examination centre. Students come for 2 days to complete studies on one module where they will be able to discuss everything with a professor and leaf through English books. Usually one level of an ABE programme includes around 7 modules, which makes it 14 days altogether. As far as exams are concerned, they are held under the vigilance of ABE representatives. This is a very serious procedure, and perhaps the difficulty of these exams is higher than that of the United States exam in Russia. I would like to point out that there are 2 types of education found in the UK, an academic and a professional one. And they are present in the education system independently from each other. Since the association has been around for a long time, the 2 education systems are interconnected, which allows to equate the subjects studied with ABE with those at a university. So basically, if a student does levels 4, 5, 6 and 7 and then enrolls in an MBA top-up programme, he or she will be able to obtain the degree in a much cheaper and faster way. Studying on a programme via blended learning will minimise the expenses associated with studies even further. Just to give you an idea, we entered the CIS market with the price of £3,200 for one level, which constitutes 8 modules. This is almost twice as cheap as in any other educational establishment worldwide. English education enjoys a high recognition in the world, especially professional qualifications acquired in the UK. We recognise the fact that not all Russian students are able to pay for their education, even the sum of £3,200. That is why on August the 20th we launched the Global Ambassador Scholarship Programme, GASPR. The idea is that 2 ambassadors, the ambassador of the Russian Federation in the UK and the ambassador of the UK in the Russian Federation, supports the process of giving grants to particular groups of students who are to meet certain requirements specified in the terms and conditions, such as to write an essay, provide documents about their academic qualifications, etc. This is a standard procedure. 100% scholarships are allocated for wheelchair users with disorders of the musculoskeletal system, as well as for gifted youngsters from disadvantaged families. 70% for university students and professionals of government organisations, companies, and finally 50% for active sportsmen. Our programme receives support in more than 67 countries around the world. The deadline for application is November the 30th. By the 15th of December, all the results will be announced. Studies will start in January. We allocate 21 places per intake to every country, and we have 3 intakes a year. And last, I would like to use this opportunity to state that we are open for cooperation with any educational establishment around the world. We also invite companies to consider options for undertaking corporate training with Magna Carta College. We are very open, multilingual and flexible. We are ready to develop relations which will later lead to one very important result: the improvement of life via education. Thank you very much for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very great pleasure to be here, and thank you for joining us. May I tell you a little about ABE, because this year we are celebrating our 40th anniversary. ABE was set up for a very important reason. when people graduated from university and they joined the big major corporations in the UK, they had very, very little training in the field of management. They would have 6 weeks altogether. They spent 1 week in production, 1 week in personnel, which we now call human resource management, 1 week in research, a week in purchasing, a week in finance, and a week in marketing. And that was all the training they got to become a manager. So ABE was set up so that people who were working in management could come to classes, courses in the evening and learn more about management and in turn how to manage more effectively as a result. What we did not envisage was the way in which ABE would expand and develop outside the UK. Very quickly we were approached from people in other European countries, Africa, Southeast Asia, asking could they run our programs. Today ABE is an international qualification recognized throughout the world. A second development took place a few years later because colleges which were running our programs, all those programs were conducted in the evening. During the day, the colleges were empty. So the colleges approached us and asked could they run the ABE program during the day for people who had left school at 16 years of age or older, and it would prepare them, they would take our exams and they would be much better qualified to enter industry on completion of an ABE exam than some of the degree programs which are available at universities. If I were an HRM manager and someone came to me who got a degree, say in English, geography, history, subjects like that, I would ask myself, what relevance has that degree got to meet industry's requirements? If someone has taken an ABE program and they then join the organisation, they have a much better understanding about what makes for effective management. Initially, we started with one program in business management. Today, we have business management, human resources management, marketing, information technology, finance, and we've just introduced a new program in entrepreneurship. May I explain why we've introduced this new program in entrepreneurship? In many parts of the world, the levels of unemployment are extremely high. We are going to see unemployment in the years ahead become a far more serious problem than it is already. The reason why unemployment will increase, in most countries today you are seeing a growing use for robots, and robots destroy jobs. May I just give you one or two examples of this? In Paris, the underground system, they have driverless trains. Let me give you quite a different type of example. If you go to South Korea, in the prisons, you don't have prison warders to look after the prisoners, you have robots. One of the things in which a great deal of work is being done in America, Europe today, is driverless cars. Instead of driving yourself to work, with a driverless car you can convert the inside of that car into an office, and you can do work as you go to your place where you're going to be working for the rest of your offices for the rest of the day. you don't get the same number of accidents in driverless cars because people occasionally fall asleep or they've had too much to drink. That doesn't happen with a driverless car. And if you can't find anywhere to park your car, you just tell the car to go away and park itself. Big companies destroy jobs. Small companies create jobs, and this is why we need more entrepreneurship. ABE, we have a diploma which is graded level 4. Now in the UK, if you've done a GCE A-level, that is graded level 3, and that is the highest grade you would normally take in secondary education. So our lowest program comes in at level 4, which is what you will be doing at the first year in university. We then have a level 5 certificate and a level 6 certificate, and a level 6 certificate equates with an honours degree from a British university. We also have a postgraduate diploma, and those who want to take, you were talking about an MBA a moment ago, or a master's degree, they can take our postgraduate diploma. ABE is a not-for-profit company. We have no shareholders. We do not pay dividends. Any surplus must be used in the best advantages of our students. ABE is run by a council. None of the council members are paid. Our chairman is a man called Lord Tomlinson, who was a government minister. He also served in the European Parliament. And because we have large numbers of students from disadvantaged countries, we keep our fees as low as possible, and we have not increased any fees, I would think, for 7 years or 8 years. If we're making a surplus, there is no need to increase our fees. So the more students we get, the longer we keep our fees at a very low price. May I pause there? I'll be happy to try and answer any of your questions, and I would welcome any and value any comments from you.
Спасибо большое. Какова плата вот та, о которой говорил мистер Линдон?
If your college is running our program, what the college charges is none of ABE's business. The student pays to join ABE. Each time they take an examination paper, they have to pay a fee to ABE, a charge to ABE. Let us assume that you have joined ABE as a student. You do our level 4 exam, our level 5 exam, our level 6 exam, and you pass every subject at the first attempt, and you pay as you go along. The total amount you would pay to ABE over that period of time would be £660. We use the surplus, A, to keep the fees low, and B, to do other things which will be helpful to the students. For example, if you're doing our business management program, we put specially commissioned books onto CD-ROMs which we give to the colleges, and then they can give those books or sell those books to the students.
Let me elaborate a little more on this matter. ABE holds examinations and ensures the quality of the content provided to students. Then ABE accredits other educational establishments so that they can teach their programs. However, so as to keep up the quality of education, ABE controls examinations itself and holds them outside the classrooms. For this reason, educational establishments have different tuition fees. Magna Carta College Oxford is the only college in the world that provides ABE, ABP programs in online mode. None of the world universities or colleges does that. All of them provide only full-time studies, and in some educational establishments the tuition fee can reach as much as £10,000. Let's imagine you enrol and study all the way up from level 4 to level 6 and sit all the exams. The total cost for examinations will be £660. As a rule, usually a student can take 8 exams a year on average. Moreover, students may buy books and CDs in addition to that. We made it much simpler. We converted all the materials, created an interactive platform and made it online.
Скажите, пожалуйста, есть ли возрастные цензы вот у вас в образовании, в получении любого?
Today, anyone aged 18 and above is eligible to study on ABE and ABP programs. Another requirement is to have a GCSE or equivalent. This is enough to enrol onto level 4. Then it all depends on the level you would like to opt for. For example, Level 7 is considered to be a postgraduate diploma, so a student should have first degree qualifications. The system is very flexible, so anyone can enter it at any point. We have students who study simultaneously in their universities and on ABE, ABP programs as well. The reason for that is that this is the diploma which enjoys worldwide recognition. Moreover, it is a professional qualification which makes the holder more valuable to an employer. Another reason why we decided to offer this opportunity to the education market of the former USSR is because here professional qualifications are not widespread. There is a large niche market and there is a large need for such specialists in different organizations. Students who have studied on ABE, ABP programs are more valuable, especially in manager positions.
We would normally expect the student to be at least 17 years of age. In the UK, you would normally take A-level, which is the leaving qualification, at the age of 17 to 18. Our first level comes in above A-level, it's post A-level, but we don't specify any ages. We get some people who come in, they're 30, 40 years of age before they start studying for our exams. So we don't have age limits. And again, our level 6 qualification, an honours degree in the UK is level 6. It equates with an honours degree. That is how the government, the body which controls all the professional bodies in the UK is Ofqual. They look at all our programmes and decide how they equate what level they are. Level 6, I repeat, is an honours degree, and our level 6 is the same.
Можно? Вы на постсоветском пространстве свою деятельность начали с Беларуси.
Да.
Насколько этот опыт оказался успешен? Будет ли что-то из этого опыта использоваться при вашей деятельности в России? И маленькое уточнение, вот эта вот программа посольских стипендий, Беларусь к ней подключилась или нет?
May I answer your second question first? Belarus was one of the first countries to have joined GASPR, and the British ambassador in Belarus, Bruce Bucknell, was the first governmental official to have given it a green light. Consequently, the first ABE examination centre in the CIS countries was opened in Minsk on the basis of the Belarusian Chamber of Commerce. The college entered the Belarusian market a year ago. We gained a unique experience of working in the segment of professional education in one of the post-Soviet countries. And what we learned from that is what we are introducing to the Russian market today. We understood the need to provide ABE, ABP in online and blended learning modes, with 10% taught on the basis of the examination center. We have a certain number of students from Belarus, and we see that having changed our approach and added more opportunities, we will enable a larger number of people to obtain these qualifications. The usual concerns that students have are connected with the cost of the program and the expenses connected with leaving the country to sit exams abroad, and we eliminated these two factors. And the third aspect I would like to touch upon is that we enlarged a classroom by offering the programs online. Now anyone can study without having to leave their work or studies elsewhere. Just imagine a typical student at a medical university. He or she understands that they are in the middle of their studies and they don't know what the future has in store for them. Now they have the opportunity to do studies online simultaneously and graduate with 2 diplomas at the same time, one of which will be a professional qualification highly recognized worldwide. Moreover, these studies will enable the student to improve their English further, which would create an additional competitive advantage for them.
А вот вы как раз опередили мой вопрос относительно английского, то есть улучшения английского. Как известно, живя в среде, во многих случаях, да, вы выучиваешь язык гораздо лучше. Каким образом вы подходите к программе обучения английскому?
Let's divide your question into 2 parts. On the ability of a Russian-speaking student to master the English language. We all know that English is usually introduced at schools from the first or second year of studies. Another aspect is that if a person is open-minded, they will always look for opportunities to improve their knowledge through watching movies, programs, and listening to music. They will go abroad with their parents and try to communicate there with other people. Then he graduates from school and asks himself where he sees himself in the future. If he sees himself as a professional in Russia, he will try to move in that direction, and he will have to know English anyway. The major part of the world's knowledge is consolidated in English. Moreover, we introduced English language courses at Magna Carta College Oxford, which are tailored to people with different levels of English. The minimum course duration is 2 weeks. Another option we offer is the exclusive program we introduced last year. It is called the Pre-Master's Certificate, and it's available in both languages. By doing this, we allow students to constantly see the same content in 2 different languages. In practice, we see that in the second half of study, students prefer to read more in English rather than in Russian already. So this is the second opportunity we offer. By doing this, we allow students to get accustomed to a different mentality, as it is usually the main problem when mastering a foreign language.
И позвольте тогда еще 2 вопроса. Какая разница, вот вы используете аббревиатуры ABE, ABP, какая разница? И второе, для меня более насущное, это мы готовим менеджеров, финансовых организаторов в области некоммерческой. Вот. И есть особая отрасль, вот, где менеджер по фандрайзингу. Обучения практически нет. Есть ли у вас какие-то предложения по этой части?
ABE is the Association of Business Executives, while ABP is the Association of Business Practitioners. The second one appeared because there was a need for new programs which are regulated separately. Answering to the second half of your question, I would like to agree with the point you made. I also believe that the lack of specialists knowing how to raise funds is found not only in Russia but worldwide. In the college, we are now working under a very interesting product which will be launched on the basis of our campus in London. And I hope that we can invite Russian students and company representatives who would like to acquire education within the framework of these specific programs in investment consulting and fundraising. This is something we would certainly do, and I agree that there is a niche market there.
Вот вы сказали 3200 цена,
да,
а потом сказали
фунтов.
660. Это да. За что? Первый вопрос.
£3,200 is the fee for 8 modules of ABE Level 6. Each level normally lasts for a year. A student can sit a maximum of 5 exams with ABE twice a year. The exams require payment, and £660 is the cost of the exams of level 4, 5, 6 together.
И как еще все-таки, вот вы говорили, что есть 42 гранта,
да.
И вот как все-таки мы не инвалиды-колясочники, да, мы там да. Это самое, не из неимущих, вот как нам попасть в 21 этих самых?
Значит, очень просто.
The application process is very simple. You can visit our website, where you can find a link with a list of all the programs. First, you choose a program and then apply for GASPR. You won't need IELTS on this level unless you want to study full-time. Then you should email your documents to us. The committee of 8 people will consider all applications for 2 weeks. And afterwards we'll make the decision. That is mostly about luck as well, because you will be judged according to the documents you provided. The committee will consider all the factors and then announce their decision. Another important issue is that the number of those who enter and graduate should be the same. It wouldn't be right to accept a person who won't graduate. However, this cannot be 100% avoided. We have grants for entrepreneurs, civil service workers, teachers, a special project we are starting very soon. We will train teachers who will be able to work in any online university of the world. The pilot version of the programme is ready, and our grants are mainly focused on it. It means that a school or a university teacher can acquire the professional skill of teaching students online. If a teacher has a high level of English, he can work in Open University or American Phoenix University. For example, these are the huge online universities with millions of students. Every year, 450,000 students graduate from Phoenix University. Just imagine how many teachers are required to work with so many students. The number is enormous. According to the rules, one online tutor can't work with more than 90 students.
В развитии этой темы личного контакта мы поняли, что 90% времени в режиме онлайн и общение с преподавателем. Кто будет на этой площадке работать?
This program is called Flying Professors. We send our professors from England to meet students.
Спасибо. У меня вопрос к Линдону Джонсону. Вот вы упомянули о роботах, а я вспомнила про чертистское движение, которое было на рубеже 18-19 веков в Британии. Чертисты, они разрушали станки и так далее. Так вот, вопрос философский. Какой прогноз, не будет ли так же, как в фильмах, потом роботы там, ну, как-то сделают, да, завоюют и так далее. Спасибо большое.
Thank you. Thank you. I've just written a paper on this subject. I'd be very happy to send a copy to you. It needs a little tidying up at the moment, but I'm really quite pessimistic. I think people do not realise just how fast robots are developing, and they are destroying jobs very rapidly. There are so many different developments today with robots. Let me give you a very simple example. Many people in the UK have lawns. Today, instead of hiring a gardener to mow your lawn, you can get a robot which will mow the lawn for you. We are seeing in the UK where you used to queue up when you went to a shop to buy groceries, you queued up afterwards and paid. All that now is you can just do it automatically. You don't have to see a person who is collecting the money. You just feed it into the machine. 20% of all goods purchased today in the UK is done online. So you need far fewer people in the shops, and you can give example after example of this nature. There is no guarantee if you get a degree you will get a job. Something like 20% of the people who graduated in the UK 2 years ago are still looking for work. I repeat, if I'm an employer, what relevance has somebody who applies for a job, who did English, literature, geography, history? It's got no relevance, but ABE has.
This is so because this education is professional with a narrow focus. If it's a marketing specialist, then it's a real marketing specialist. An economist manager is what was commonly written in Soviet diplomas. That is not clear. And as a result, we get a person who leaves a university with a degree, but who is absolutely unprepared and has no practical skills. Our college has a special program. This is a 3-month program for graduates. This program is called GDP.
Как бы продолжая мысль, не с точки зрения философствования, а может быть это начало не сокращения, может быть это начало других требований к человеку. Ваше мнение на этот счет, если так говорить?
The topic is very interesting. I think that a human is on the way to perfecting his intellectual abilities, undergoing a shift from consuming to creating nature. A person using ideas, brain power, skills, knowledge and abilities can create more than a robot can. The second point is that the majority of the population nowadays needs to survive. What I mean is that they spend their time and help to earn some money just to buy food. The next era, which is definitely coming, will create the conditions where a person will develop his abilities further, invest time in himself so as to become more powerful spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and will start to create amazing things. The simple things that can be delegated to machines, such as cutting a lawn, for example, unless it is something that requires a creative touch, I think this is the right way. Moreover, robots are created and controlled by people anyway. Even artificial intelligence is based on algorithms created by humans. There are self-developing machines, but they operate according to algorithms as well. The question of human knowledge will be even more acute as we need to know even more, to know how to control that. I witnessed a number of situations in England where people come to new shops with no cashier serving and don't know what to do.
May I go back for a moment to universities? Last week I was in Ghana. Students get first degrees and then they cannot get jobs. The jobs are simply not there. 3 of the universities with whom I had discussions last week in Ghana are now going to run ABE's program because they think that program is much more relevant to industry's needs than the conventional degree. Magna Carta is very innovative, and I want to leave a thought with you today. You've talked about, and it's about MBAs. When you look at an MBA program, you've got to take the following into consideration. Our brain is divided into the left side and the right. The left side does the constructive thinking. The right side does the analytical thinking. I hope that Magna Carta, their MBA, will focus much less on the analytical thinking and much more on the constructive thinking. This is what we need. We need more innovation. And if anybody can be the leader of this change, it is Magna Carta. You're going to see you had a photograph of Alan Jones. I sent him a paper. I sent him a paper the other day about MBAs, and he is urging me to get it published. I am very critical as they stand at the moment. That's an understatement, how critical I am of them. When you first get your MBA, it means my best advertisement. 5 years later, if you haven't done more study, it means marginally below average. Any degree has a half-life of 5 years or thereabouts. You see no qualifications on my card whatsoever. My first degree in economics was done so long ago, it has got no relevance to today's world. In today's world, we need to do continuing professional development, no matter how good our qualification is. A lot of my continuing professional development is meeting people like this, and I learn from them.
I would like to add only one point. Every person who wants to be at the top needs to undergo continuous professional development. Our college has created the concept of lifelong education. This means that a person can take up different programs which will allow him or her to develop mentally, emotionally, etc. These programs will be unique. For example, mindset management is one of the new ones. This is a unique 10-day course. Another program is integrated intelligence. Your IQ, EQ and other abilities for self-education and resistance to stress are tested there. Today, there are 8 kinds of intelligence defined by scientists. We have created a product which is currently in beta testing. Finally, I want to state that ABE is the education that puts an emphasis on practice, which is the most essential and useful tool today. We have done everything to make the British education accessible for the Russian people who really want it. Now it's up to you whether to accept it or not. To open a door, one should knock. If you don't, it will be closed. What we do in education is unique. We help people change their attitude for themselves. And that's why we chose the brain as a symbol. You choose the comfortable way to study and to pay. This is the main point of the brand. Cooperating with ABE helps us work even better.